All right, this is part 2 of our lesson. So if you're watching this before you have watched part 1, go back to part 1. In part 1 we did examples letter A and B. So if you haven't watched those yet, go watch part 1. We're going to do C and D. Now, C is actually kind of fun. What you're going to do is factor, so X box, the top and the bottom, and then see if you can get anything to cancel out when you do it. Now the only other thing we need to think about as we factor the top and bottom is that we are dividing a fraction here, so you need to multiply by the reciprocal. Reciprocal. So I'm going to do a couple of things at the same time. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to factor both of my fractions, and that's what the next thing you'll see. Okay, so here is part C, completely factored. I used Xbox or quick factoring, whatever you want to call it. Now what I need to do is I need to multiply by the reciprocal of this second fraction. So all I'm going to do is flip it upside down. All right, this is what it looks like when it's flipped upside down. You'll notice that my division sign became a multiplication sign, and that's because I'm flipping and multiplying by the reciprocal. And now look what happens. Fun stuff happens. We have one factor can cancel with the one on the bottom. This guy stays because he down here at the bottom is only represented once, so you can only cross out 1. You can also cross out the x minus 1, leaving myself x plus 4 on top and 2 times x minus 2 on the bottom. So that's kind of a fun little trick by finding the factors of something and then seeing if anything can cross out. All right, let's go and do part D. Okay, part D looks really hard to me and very confusing, but guess what? It's actually the same as part C. We have two fractions that are being divided by one another. So I'm going to follow the same process. I'm going to first see if I can factor anything. I'm looking like the 3s squared plus 8s minus 3 can probably factor. I'm going to try that, and then I'm going to flip upside down and multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so you'll notice what I've done. I did 2 steps in a row. I flipped the fraction and I X-boxed the top. For this, I just did the X-box where I had -9 on the top and 8 on the bottom, and I rewrote it. You should know how to do that at this point. Whoops, you know what? I wrote these as X's, not S's, and they are certainly S's. Now I'm going to look for any common factors that I can cancel out, and I see that I have a 3s minus 1 on top and bottom. Also, I have an s to the first and an s to the fourth, leaving s cubed on the top. So when I'm all said and done here, I'm going to have s cubed on the top and then s plus 3 on the bottom. You cannot cancel out an s. Don't. All right, yeah, I messed that up. But anyway, a lot of people are going to want to factor right here. Or not factor, but like cross out, cancel. No. Your Aunt Sally from Order of Operations puts hidden parentheses around the s plus 3, and those are cemented together. So your final answer is s cubed over s plus 3. All right, now I would like you to pause and try examples, or the practice problems, numbers 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to give you the answers, just like I did number 1. I'm not going to give a lot of explanation, but I'll try to show as much work as possible. Enjoy.